Big shout out to Miles. So this gameplay you are going to see in the following videos, both in league raid. This first one is league raid. The second one is solo raid. There are gameplays that I saw from Miles, and yeah, it's a very good gameplay for this team. So we're going to be talking about how this gameplay works, what are the strengths, and what are the weaknesses. And I would say the weaknesses are not really a weakness of the gameplay play per se, but more of a weakness of the character Raiden. So in this pattern of play, you are going to make Raiden the main damage dealer. So if you are building your Raiden, build your Raiden as a damage dealer. The normal expectations of a damage dealer: crit chance, crit damage. In my case, I added lethal because I was lucky enough to drop 30% lethal damage on talent. So that's why I added lethal. You could decide to add that, or you decide to use those talents, or rather, those gear effects, use attack to replace it. So yeah, you could go the lethal route, which I went, or you could just make those attack. I think you have about the same result. Yeah. So and also some fast attack chance because yeah, you are going to need as many fast attack as you can get on raiding. So yeah, the entire idea is, of course, to make Scorpion the support character to apply his hazard dot and then use Raiden to do damage. The reason for that is that to get the most damage, the enemy has to have zero power bars. If you are going to be using any other MK character as the damage dealer, unless you are using an artifact that completely drains them, it's not feasible to maximize that damage. So you are basically forced to use Raiden as your main damage dealer. But that doesn't mean Scorpion is not important. Scorpion is important on this team because Scorpion is the one that's going to provide that extra boost to the attack from his special 3 hazard. Mind you, when you are on that hazard, you're going to be doing some percentage of extra damage. So that's why Scorpion is still very, very much important, but more as a support character than as the main damage dealer. So yeah, you tag in your Scorpion, you do your special 3, then you tag in Raiden to a down swipe. Very important. Now, you would have noticed in my gameplay that I wasn't always tagging into a down swipe. That was not by design. I actually did down swipe every single time, but my swipes don't. No, this is not just me. This is many of you that play this game, especially if your device is not really premium. You notice that sometimes swipes don't register. You are going to notice it in this match and in the next match. So there's sometimes you tag in, do a down swipe, and Raiden will just tag in and be looking, or do basic instead, something like that. So that happened. But the ideal thing you want to do, you want to tag in, you want to do a down swipe to destabilize the opponent. Then you now start with your basic attacks, and another down swipe, basic attack, and a down swipe. You do that 3 times. If you have God Killer maxed out, that's 3 times. If it's not maxed, then you probably have about 2 sessions to use before you need to tag out and tag in MK1 Scorpion. So yeah, that's basically the idea. You tag in Raiding, do your basics, which include your normal basic and down swipe, normal basics and down swipe, then tag out, tag in Scorpion, do some basics, do the special 3, then tag in Raiding again. The only issue, this is where we're going to talk about the weakness of the gameplay, because this gameplay makes it that the AI doesn't get to jump all the time. But guess what? The AI is still going to jump. If you even watch Miles' gameplay, you see that AI was still jumping in that case. We'll also talk about how you could handle that. But yeah, against AI that is doing that has like increased power generation, you're going to have an issue because you notice that towards the end of that gameplay, this last gameplay, and even the new gameplay for solo raid, you're going to notice that towards the last 1 minute where the power generation has increased, it becomes difficult to maintain that pattern because the AI will just jump now and do specials. When they don't have power, if they jump, they can't do much outside that. They just jump and they'll be staring at you because they don't have any powers. So you can quickly hit them and continue. The last 1 minute of the match, they're able to jump and do specials. And if the boss has effects like stun, like power drain, or any maybe movement disable or something like that, you are in trouble. You're going to lose damage. So this gameplay exposes you to that. What you can do is knowing this, knowing that the last 1 minute of the match, the boss is going to have extra power generation. What you can do to rectify that is basically you tag in I don't know how you can anticipate this because now this might be good advice, this might be bad advice. But I will think that the last 1 minute is when you tag in and swipe back and block. Wait for enemy to jump, do their specials, then you re-engage them. So you are going to still lose damage by doing this, but I think that would be a better approach to take in the last 1 minute than to just take the risk to tag in. Because yes, you could tag in and do a down swipe and it works, but you could also tag in and do a down swipe and the enemy jumps and hits you with a special. And if that special has any effect, you are in trouble. Like you saw in my last match, Captain Cold got to stun me a lot of times. So yeah, at the end of the day, it's a choice on your part. Do you want to take that risk and just continue the normal gameplay in the end of the match, or do you want to uh, be maybe anticipate that and just basically the last 1 minute of the match be blocking when you know that the boss, if this boss jumps and does it, they will have enough power for a special. So I think you could also calculate that if you tag in Raven and not Raven, if you tag in Raiden and you see that the boss is not going to have enough power bars for a special, then you could just take that risk and just do a down swipe, because even if the boss jumps and you miss, you can still re-engage him. But if you see that this boss is definitely going to have enough power to do a special, then you can just tag in and block, tag in and block, or tag in, swipe back and block. Let him jump and do his special, then you re-engage him. And yeah, so I think those were some things I missed towards the end of the match, but that's what I'm going to also be practicing to basically perfect this gameplay. But yeah, with this gameplay, you can see that Raiden in solo raid is able to do over 1 billion damage. In league raids, you're able to one shot T8 raids. You're able to, I am thinking T9 one shot, which is 200 million, is very much possible. In fact, in that my last match, if not for that double stun, double whammy I got at the end of that match, I probably would have gotten very close to 200 million. Let's say maybe 160. But let's say I have a max out Scorpion, definitely T9 one shot is possible. And in league grades, I definitely think if you have a max out Scorpion, it's possible to one shot. I even think if not for the mess up of this match, which was the last 30 seconds of this match, I would have gotten closer to like 1.6 billion damage. So I'm seeing a max out Scorpion is a guaranteed one shot, which of course you have to have strong artifacts as well. Let's not forget about that. So you need to have those artifacts. Another caveat is that when you're going to fight against a boss that has increased power generation, there's some trouble there, because it will mean that you would have to use a different strategy, which is the strategy I talk about, the end of match strategy. If a boss has increased power generation, you tag in your raiding, the boss is always going to have enough power to either they will jump your down swipe and they will do their special. So that's going to happen. Definitely expect that. So if that is the case, then what you just need to do is, if you are fighting a boss that has increased power generation, number one, avoid that fight. That's the best advice. Just avoid that fight entirely. Don't. There are going to be other bosses that don't have increased power generation. In fact, increased power generation is not even that common. Among the 5 bosses per tier, usually just one we have it. So you can focus on any of the other boss and use a different character on that fight. But if you really want to take on that boss with your MK team, then you have to use a different strategy. Let's say the first 1 minute may be doable, but from the second 1 minute of the match, like the second section, the final section of the fight, you won't be able to do that tagging down swipe, except the boss is dormant. So you have to be very observant during the fight. If the boss is not dormant, they will likely, every time you tag in and do a down swipe, they will jump it and they will do a special. So I really don't recommend fighting bosses that have increased power generation. That's just the truth. But like I said, if you want to fight it, then you have to change it to this strategy to a different strategy where if you tag in, you don't down swipe, you tag in, you swipe back, you block with raiding. Wait for the boss to jump and do their special, then you re-engage them, do your own basics, do your own damage, then yeah, tagging Scorpion, do his own basics, do his special 3, tagging raiding, swipe back, block. That's for against bosses that have power generation. Also, that strategy will also work, or it's also good in the last like 1 minute of the fight. That's I really didn't pay attention to that. I was just using the same strategy from the beginning to the end, but I noticed that towards the end of the fight, I can't do that anymore. Especially the last 1 minute, last 30 seconds, tag in, swear back, block. Let the boss jump and do their special. Take their special, then re-engage them. Which is why your raiding also has to be a bit tanky, have some defense on him so that he can take those hits. And yeah, that's how that will work. This team is going to be, if you don't have a high enough artifact, it's a good enough team to clear after your head reduction team goes. If you have strong enough artifacts, you can one shot. If you have high enough scorpion, maybe like a 5 star or 6 star scorpion, definitely you can one shot with this team. If you enjoy my videos, guys, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.